I mean, I'm sure Mallory's got black.
Hello, everybody out there. We're here. We're
You are there.
live.
We are here.
I'm
We are
here. Mike and Brandon are there.
But you're there.
But I'm here.
But we're here.
But I'm there and you're
We're here.
But
You're
yet,
there.
But yet, we still talk and see each other. So, is anyone really here or there?
Who's
No.
on first?
Check out
Nice.
our episode on there.
And space.
And time.
My God. That'll be a fun episode on there and what that means.
What does there mean?
Be fun.
Oh, actually, that would be a really.
We are in hangover territory, folks.
I know we haven't even started the show and we're in hangover territory already. Haven't even had any drinks. I think it's just the I know.
Liz hasn't had any drinks yet.
I have one.
Right,
Yeah, I
right,
haven't
we've
had any
had
drinks
one.
yet.
And we got soccer.
Katie says
there.
hi, and she says, "Look
Hi,
at
Katie.
these dapper outfits." They don't have access. They can't see the chat because
No, we're going in blind.
They could put their phones in front of them and have the chat on their phones.
I had to control.
Oh,
Do you know-
my phone.
okay.
My phone is way over there, and it's really far. It's 5 feet from me.
But we will introduce what we are doing.
Yes.
And why we don't have phones on us, and why we have tablets of stone in front of us and written down on parchment and not laptops.
Yeah, there are no. Yeah, there's some things that are clearly not time accurate, historical
Like
accuracy.
this whole thing.
Yeah,
this whole thing.
I mean, you know,
Microphones,
we did our best with some costumes.
headphones.
Why is it that it's only episodes I host that we dress up? Like, why doesn't Mike do a dress up episode?
I
Is
put
it all your
punk- you
episodes,
put
I
punk
guess?
stuff
Usually,
on.
yeah. I like doing my old timey shit.
All
It's
right.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
wanna get
next time I'll
We're just what
dress up. I don't.
We'll talk about
Whatever
tolerance.
the topic's gonna be. So.
Yeah, Liz, give me a countdown.
Oh, okay. All right. Ready in 5, 4, 3.
Hey everyone,
So
welcome.
weird seeing it on this side.
You always interrupt after the countdown.
I'm sorry, but it's funnier on this side. All right, go ahead and do it again, and I just won't look.
Try it again. Give me a countdown.
5, 4, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode of Cosm. My God.
Oh my god, no.
All right, no countdown. Go to 0.
Okay.
And I'll start again. Hey, folks, welcome to a special episode of Cosmos with Cosmos. I'm Brandon,
I'm
Mike.
Liz.
and we are barely keeping it together. So for those of you on the podcast and not watching live on YouTube or watching the stream when we record later on, we have a big background behind us. It is the Great Debate. We have been talking about this for years. I'm doing the debate, the two great thinkers of the 1920s coming together and debating themselves, and none of them are right. So we're going to cover that in this episode.
But they're all right.
They are all right and they're all wrong at the same time. We'll talk a bit about that. So what are we drinking, Liz? What you got?
Oh, I have a well, I don't have a special name for it because it's pretty much themed. It's the Clover Club,
Yeah.
which is a 1920s drink anyway. It's gin, raspberry syrup, lemon juice, and some egg white in there.
Now, 1920s drink, Liz. I think you reminded me that was illegal in 1920.
Yes. Yeah, we're in Prohibition, but you know what? We're rebels.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Prohibition just stopped. We're in a speakeasy. We got 2 speakeasies
It's
going.
true. Yeah.
Okay, not bad. For
right.
not having Mike make it for me.
Because Mike is on site with me today.
Uh-huh.
For podcast people. Mike, what you got?
I have Harlow's all wet and doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's just scotch.
That sounds
I have Dr. Curtis is an old dinosaur with antiquated thoughts.
Cheers.
Cheers. This is gonna be fun. All right, so in 1920, of course, he had social media. So follow us on all the things on Twitter, Drinking Cosmos, everywhere else. It's Cosmos with Cosmos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash that like button, fam. I think that's what the kids still span.
Yeah, in 1920s. We should have looked up some 1920s lingo.
All wet is 1920s lingo. You don't know what you don't.
No,
somebody's dumb on something.
How do I not know 1920s lingo?
I know, right? Of all people.
Yeah. And then if you're with us live now, join us after the episode for the hangover, where we'll talk about shenanigans. Speaking of shenanigans, we have some friends that like to do some shenaniganery tomfoolery. Shenanigan tomfoolery sounds 1920s-ish.
It does. It's a very 1920s.
Of course, we have Katie doing wonderful art on Wildixia on Etsy. That's IXIA. Mr. RonProctorShow.com. Watch them chickens all the way down, those blunder tutorials, have a good time. Mm-hmm. And if you happen to be in the Council Bluffs area in Iowa, go check out Jack at rollingbluffsplanetarium.com.
You know what's interesting though is like I think it was the 1920s where it was the turtles all the way down comment that was actually made with what was his name, Russell, yeah, but yeah, so the thing was this lady
Bertrand Russell
he gave a talk about the universe and this, and he just great talk about the universe. And this lady comes up to him afterwards and says, basically, the world is flat and the world is sitting on the backs of tortoises, on backs of turtles. And he just asked the question, well, what's holding up the turtles? And she goes, it's turtles all the way down, which I think is the same time frame as this whole thing.
And at this point, it's anyone's guess.
That's just the bee's knees.
Oh, nice. Liz coming in strong.
I did it. Also, we're imbibing in some giggle juice.
Oh, giggle juice. Nice.
What is it?
Well, old chap.
Giggle juice?
I mean.
Old sports.
Old sports.
I'm just trying to think about Great Gatsby lingo.
Yeah, very much.
All right.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Every time that there's an old Gatsby reference, everybody else has a drink.
All
That's out there, not us.
We all just look longingly at the blue light. I think it was green light, blue light. I don't know. So if this is too much banter for you and you just want undistilled science down your throats, you can listen to The Shot, where it's just science. The banter is at the minimum, and we are just pure professionals there.
It's not. Yeah. Banter's not at a minimum. It's just a short show with banter.
And we do have a rule, at least one, for this episode. So if you're joining us live, we have a World Cup match happening. You can't see it on our screen because copyright issues, but it's behind my shoulders for other people to watch. And if Mike and I go, woo, woo, take a drink.
Oh, boy.
Which we should just randomly
do. We should just do it anyway. Yeah, I agree.
Now I'm glad I'm here. No.
All right, so with that, I think we dive into the actual episode.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this was the Great Debate in 1920. But what just was the Great Debate? What was it about? Who was involved? Why was it great? Why did it matter?
Yeah.
So
I ask myself that all the time.
So space is really fucking big.
What?
Right? Like, there's a reason why they call it space. They don't call it closeness. They don't call it everything's too nearby me. They call it space. It's unfathomably big.
Well, gravity's trying to make it closeness.
Gravity is doing its best.
It's doing its best.
Well, it's not going to work.
It's a pretty weak force, though.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Nice,
well done.
Nice.
Well done.
And so because we know today that space is incredibly huge, we didn't actually always know that. We didn't know how big space was. Did it end at the stars? Is that a filament? Is it a static image behind us? How long can you go into space? So there were lots of competing ideas, a lot of competing theories. So in the 1920s, in the early 20th century, we really had two prevailing thoughts. We had the big galaxy theory, right? And the big galaxy theory is exactly what it sounds like. It's the Milky Way is just extraordinarily huge, and it contains all of the known universe, all the stuff. Now, there may be some other spots around it, but for the most part, it's the Milky Way. And the thought there was that the Earth is not in the center of the Milky Way galaxy. It's far away. The other theory, what was the other theory, Mike?
What was my theory?
Yeah, what was the other theory called?
Oh, well, it was, okay.
Okay,
Island universes.
There we go. I'll give you a hint.
It's the island universe theory, which is that spiral nebulae are independent galaxies, much like the Milky Way, that are out there. And the Earth is near the center of our little spiral nebulae, our galaxy.
Yeah, so they call them spiral nebulae because when you looked at Andromeda, for example, looked at these other M Messier objects, you can see little spirals of them. So they call them, spiral nebulae. Little did they know. So with these thoughts going on in, the thought of science realms, in 1919, one George Hale of the Mount Wilson Observatory.
Don't they have like a telescope named after him or an observatory? The Hale Observatory?
Something like that. So he was at the Mount Wilson Observatory and helped found Caltech and helped found the National Research Council. He was a busy boy. He made a comment at the National Academy of Sciences that year. He said that in memory of his father, who recently had passed away, a meeting should be planned for the next April. And he wrote, quote, "You mentioned the possibility of a sort of debate, either on the subject of the island universe or of relativity. I have a sort of fear, however, that the people care so little about island universes, notwithstanding the vast extent, that unless the speakers took pains to make the subject very engaging, the thing itself would fall flat." Unquote.
So he's just saying it's boring?
Yeah.
Well, jeez.
Yeah, why didn't we just go with relativity then?
Well, we didn't go with relativity because this is another great quote. He says later on in that letter, "I pray to God that the progress of science will send relativity to some region of space beyond the fourth dimension, from whence it may never return to plague us."
What the fuck?
My God, why don't we write letters like that anymore?
I'm out.
Wow.
I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, so relativity was so new that there were still lots of people in science that just didn't believe it. I love it.
Right. Yeah. It would take
people not believing science. Oh no!
But it's the scientists not believing relativity at that point.
Yeah, you needed an eclipse. You needed that eclipse to really kind of solidify stuff for it.
So once he wrote that in 1919, because he was Mr. Hale, we got momentum behind things. And there was considerable back and forth on just who should speak on the debate, the content, what level of technicalities they should have. Should it be for a general audience? Should it be for the scientists? Should it be for specific astronomers? How much time can people speak about? Is it a debate format? Whatever. So in the end, we had, look behind me, Paulo Shapley and Dr. Heber D. Curtis both agree to 40 minutes each to speak. But there is no traditional debate format. But because we are what we call extra here at Cosmos with Cosmos, my God, we have decided for this episode to create the great debate in a debate format, which isn't what they actually did. And one of the fun things we want to do, if you are listening now, send in your questions for these two 1920 thinkers, and at the end we'll add those questions and see how we do.
I feel like I'm from the 1920s sometimes.
Just your knees. Yeah.
Yep. My knees are not the bee's knees, and they're
nice.
Well, I was just building on what Liz said.
Nicely done, old sports. Here, bully. We're doing our best.
That's applesauce, which means nonsense or garbage.
Nice.
Yes.
Don't give me that applesauce.
You saw the same Google AI I saw.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, we're going to slowly get into character and hand it off to Liz to introduce the actors, introduce the stage.
Oh, we're going to get in character?
Dive in. Yeah.
I think I'm the only one.
Uh-huh.
It's right.
Well, we don't know.
Then.
Sure. You didn't give me mine.
All
right, everybody. The great debate. We have the actors. The moderator will be performed by Liz. Harlow Shapley will be performed by Brandon. Hold on, I gotta
They had talkies in 1920?
There we go. Okay. Dr. Shapley was a young, ambitious, rising... Hey, Peanut Gallery, knock it off. Dr. Shapley was a young, ambitious rising star in astronomy who specialized in the properties of stars and binary systems of globular clusters. He believed in a large Milky Way galaxy that encompasses all nebula with the sun far from the center. Dr. Heber D. Curtis, as performed by Mike. Dr. Curtis was a well-respected established authority on the properties of spiral nebulae, known for his conservative approach and frequent skepticism of new theories. He postulated a very small Milky Way galaxy with the nebulae existing as other island universes similar to the Milky Way, with the sun near the center of the galaxy. The stage, we are in Washington, D.C., the National Academy of Sciences, 1920. The original debate consisted of both scientists speaking for 40 minutes, followed by one rebuke. Our reimagining will be a moderator-led debate containing the best reasoning of the time. All that said, everyone, lights, camera, and action. My esteemed colleagues and leaders of enlightened scientific reasoning, it is my undue pleasure to welcome you all to a debate concerning a grand topic encompassing total creation itself, as the Earth is the center of. Is the center of? I guess that's a question. Of the universe. Is the Milky Way galaxy the entirety of the universe? Do island universes exist outside the plane of the Milky Way? These are the topics that Dr. Heber D. Curtis and Mr. Harlow Shapley with us now shall contend to. Prior to this debate, Mr. Shapley won a coin flip and shall speak his opening statement first. Mr. Shapley, proceed.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. The physical universe was anthropocentric to primitive man. From Ptolemy to Copernicus, the system of stars have appeared larger than was thought before. Is it not further evolution of ideas possible, nay, probable? In the face of great accumulations of new and relevant information, can we firmly maintain our old cosmic conceptions? I believe when another advance is necessary, our conception of the galactic system must be enlarged. Read my lips, must be enlarged. The solar system can no longer maintain a central position. Recent studies of clusters and related subjects seem to me to leave no alternative to the belief that the galactic system is at least 10 times greater in diameter, at least 1,000 times greater in volume than recently supposed. Dr. Curtis, on the other hand, maintains that the galactic system has the dimensions and arrangements formally assigned it by students of sidereal structure. He supports the views held a decade ago.
Dr. Curtis.
Yeah, this dude's just an old punk. That's all he is. He's just trying to stir up trouble. That's what he is. Old boy. He's just old sport. There you go. The evidence with regards to the dimensions of the galaxy, both sides, is too uncertain as yet to permit any kind of dogmatic pronouncements. Yes, there you go. All right, you see, why are we in the roles that we are in? We should be. There are many points of difficulty in either theory of galactic dimensions, and it is doubtless true that many will prefer to suspend judgment until much additional evidence is forthcoming. I don't think there's going to be any evidence forthcoming.
You must be on the outer edges of science to make advancements.
Until more definite evidence to the contrary is available. However, I feel that the evidence for the smaller and commonly accepted galactic dimensions is still the stronger and commonly accepted galactic. Oh, man, I already read that. And that the postulated diameter of 300,000 light years must quite certainly be divided by 5, perhaps even 10. 10!
Your theories are as vapid as the smoke from this pipe.
Now, quiet down.
I hold, therefore, to the belief that the galaxy is probably not more than 30,000 light years in diameter. You know, just a little guy. That the spirals are not intergalactic objects, but island universes like our own galaxy. That the spirals as eternal galaxies indicate to us a greater universe in which we may penetrate to distances 10 millions to hundreds of millions of light years.
Thank you, Dr. Curtis. Let us begin with evidence of your positions. Mr. Shapley, you claim a large galaxy. What methods are used in your estimation to provide such distances?
Indeed I do. And I shall now impose upon you the dreary technicalities of the methods of determining the distance.
It's because you don't know them. You don't know those.
Quiet down, Dr. Curtis.
You don't know them.
Quiet
we
down.
believe in rules and science which you are not following, sir.
It is Shapley's turn. It is Shapley's turn. Proceed, Mr. Shapley.
Those dreary technicalities would involve such discussions of parallaxic motion, probable error, Cepheid variation, giant stars, and of course, math and physics, which we have no room for in the moment.
There's always room for physics, young sir.
I think it will suffice to sketch briefly the principles involved. For nearby stellar objects, we can make direct trigonometric measures of distance using the Earth's orbit and the path of the sun through space as a baseline. Easy geometry, easy trigonometry. For many of the more distant stars, the spectroscopic...
for some of us.
Sir.
I think, I think our moderator might have. Anyway.
One at a time, and maybe someone could scooch the camera a little bit, zoom it out a little bit, so you both are in shot on this radio program.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix that.
It is on autofocus at the moment.
This is new technology here that we have.
Then Dr. Curtis, get a little bit closer to Mr. Shapley, okay?
Do not dare!
Be friends. Continue.
For many of the more distant stars out there, the spectroscopic method is available. And for certain types of stars too distant for spectroscopic data, there is still a chance of obtaining the distance by means of the photometric method. This simple device consists in determining by some indirect means the real light power of a star. So that's called absolute magnitude. So that means if a star is a certain distance away and we know how bright it is supposed to be, then we can measure the distance by how dim it then becomes by measuring the absolute magnitude. Obviously, if a star of known real brightness is moved away to greater and greater distances, its apparent brightness would decrease.
Dr. Shapley, or yes, Mr. Shapley. Are you doctor? The camera likes your hand, so move your hand the other way, and maybe it'll go back.
You know what? As I am the center in the moment, I believe it is proper that the camera is rested on me. The stars of known absolute magnitude, their apparent magnitude gives the distance to the observer. So you know how bright it is, know how far away it is, we know the distance. That's my proof.
Mr. Curtis, do you have any contradiction to Mr. Shapley's method? Oh no, the camera froze down.
I thought you froze.
Okay, he did froze for a second. There you go. Keep moving your hand over. Keep going over. Yeah, you're almost there. Oh my god.
Go.
I don't have any rebuttal to that other than it's just like completely he's completely wrong. Oh my god, what a show. The absolute magnitude of a star is frequently needed in order that we may compare the luminosities of different stars in terms of some common unit. Well, were all the stars of approximately the same absolute brightness, the same, brightness, absolute magnitude, or if this were true even for the stars of any particular type or class, the problem of determining the general order of dimensions of our galaxy would be comparatively easy. Would you not agree with that? I'm sure you would. But you didn't really go to school. You probably went to ASU or something. But the problem is complicated.
Wait a minute. Careful there, Miss Dr. Shapley. Careful.
Very technically, I believe the only college and university in 1920, as it is, sir, is unfortunately the University of Arizona.
All right.
Watch your mouth, Dr. Curtis. Don't be talking no applesauce.
Beautiful.
Right. But the problem is complicated by the fact that the dispersion in absolute luminosity is very great. It's very big. This dispersion probably reaches 10 absolute magnitudes, which would correspond to 100-fold uncertainty in the distance of any given star, old sport.
Oh, well, Mr. Curtis, may you give an example of these uncertainties?
He cannot.
By direct methods, the distance of individual stars can be determined with considerable accuracy out to a distance of only about 200 light years with this whole trigonometry stuff you were talking about.
Trigonometry, phlegmometry.
Yeah, it's not real science. At a distance of 300 light years, which is 28 times 10 to the 14th kilometers. So that's a lot of kilometers. The radius of the Earth's orbit.
Do you have that in like American?
We don't have it in American because we do science in this talk. We do science. The radius of the Earth's orbit is 1.5 times 10 to the 8th kilometers, or about 93 million miles. And that subtends an angle slightly greater than 0.01 arc seconds. So real small, real tiny.
Yes, as every child knows.
They do. Every child does know because they don't want to go to ASU.
I say.
I will also rebut that, Mr. Curtis. Hey now.
The best modern parallax calculations has not improved that value at all, in the slightest, not at all. Therefore, assumptions of measurements beyond that value are of limited value and flawed. Mr. Shapley's data is based off incorrect measurements and cannot be viewed as correct.
Mr. Shapley, since the camera favors you and using a normal webcam seemed to be not something that you can do, now that we have heard the methods of measurement, may you provide evidence of your large galaxy?
May I first postulate the question, what is a webcam?
I don't know.
You
clearly
don't know.
Perhaps she is a witch.
Burn her!
I speak with the dead occasionally on my off hours.
Yes, thank you. So let us turn our attention to the Great Heracles Star Cluster, M13. We do not know how many stars are in M13, probably not less than 50,000. The distance of the cluster, give or take, yes, indeed. I'm glad we can agree on something at last. The distance of the cluster, I find, is some 35,000 light years, and its diameter more than 350 light years across.
Wow.
Maybe more, maybe less.
Perhaps,
probably less.
Yes.
A lot
Probably
less.
More. It's a big
maybe
galaxy.
A lot less.
It's a big galaxy after all. We know the positions, magnitudes, and color of its brightest stars. We have the spectra of many individual stars and the velocity and spectral type of the cluster as a whole. So with knowledge of this structural detail, it's not surprising we have more confidence in distance than was possible a mere 10 years ago. So to suggest, as I believe Professor Curtis may do, that the clusters are only 1/10 as remote as I place them, is equivalent to subscribing to views so radical in severe departments of astronomy and physics that we instinctively hesitate.
I don't do radical, man. I'm a conservative, dude.
Mr. Curtis,
I suppose you believe the views.
You're the radical.
The views of one.
All right, knock it off,
Roosevelt are
boys.
too progressive for you.
Chaps,
You believe in
chaps,
Hoover. Hoover will be the end of us all.
Hoover!
Oh, boys.
Hoover! Elect Hoover!
Good
Elect
boys.
Hoover
Mr.
in 4
Curtis.
years.
Mr.
8
Curtis.
years.
Mr. Curtis.
What could go wrong
Mr.
with
Curtis.
Mr. Hoover?
Mr. Mr. Curtis, the audience would like you to switch seats while you're talking so the camera can focus on one of you. So I don't know if you want to musical chairs this shit or not. But anyway, Mr. Curtis, what do you make of Mr. Shapley's assertion that the Heracles cluster is 35,000 light years distant?
It's hogwash. It is just hogwash. While I hold to a theory of galactic dimensions of probably approximately 1/10 that, supported by my, I'm not going to say esteemed, my colleague over here,
nice,
Shapley, who went to ASU. Hey, let's just say.
I will warn you one more time.
It does not follow that I maintain this ratio for particular cluster distance. No, I don't. All that I have tried to do is show that 10,000 light years is a reasonable average, Mr. Shapley Harlow. That the average for a cluster distance.
My God.
It looks like we're receiving an alien message on screen. Oh, when we're back, the aliens have received.
And we're not back. But anyway, there are so many assumptions and uncertainties involved that I am most hesitant in attempting to assign a given distance to a given cluster, a hesitancy which is not diminished by a consideration of the following estimate of the distance of M13. My own estimate would be about 8,000 light years distance, and it would appear to me at present that this estimate is perhaps within, 50% of the truth, of the correct value.
Wow. Okay. If we take the view of a Heracles cluster, 35,000...
Let us take this moment for a brief intermission of 26 seconds.
A brief intermission of 26
We're
seconds?
We're going to have a brief intermission at this point.
We will briefly intermit. We will briefly intermit while they work out whatever is happening with the alien technology.
UFO.
Wait, I was muted for that whole entire thing that I just did. I was totally muted. I forgot to unmute us. Okay, if we take...
From the top.
Well, it would be on brand being muted because, you know,
right.
It is the 1920s.
From the top.
Anyway, if we take the view of a Heracles cluster 35,000 light years away, as Mr. Shapley contends, how does this impact the dimensions of the galactic system?
What a wonderful and well thought out question.
Wow, I wonder who wrote it.
Well, the moderator, of course. When we accept the distance of the Heracles cluster, then it follows that fainter smaller clusters are still more distant. 30 of the 86 known are more distant than 100,000 light years. The most distant is more than 200,000 light years away, and the diameter of the whole system of globular clusters is about 300,000 light years.
Don't you feel like that's a little high?
I do not, because in fact, it follows that the galactic system of stars is as large or greater than that number.
Or smaller.
It is Shapley's term, Curtis.
One consequence of the cluster theory of the galactic system is that the sun is found to be very distant indeed from the center of the galaxy. It appears that we are near the center of a large local cluster or cloud of stars. But that cloud is at least 60,000 light years from the center of the Milky Way galaxy. We have in fact been victimized by the chance position of our sun near the center of a subordinate system. Victimized. And we have been misled by the consequent phenomena to think that we are God's own appointed, right in the thick of things. In much the same way, ancient man was misled to believe that even his little planet was the center of the universe, and as earthly gods created and judged as the whole. Remembering these delusions relative to his physical status in the universe, may we not appropriately ask if man is also biologically blindfolded?
Are you, Harlow, claiming that modern science has been blinded by religious and short-sighted dogma?
If the shoe fits.
Gentlemen, Mr. Curtis, you claim a smaller galaxy by tenfold, but you hold the minority view that the Milky Way is but one island universe out of many. How do you come to this conclusion?
With science and a disbelief in dogma. Completely ironic here. But to more accurately answer your question, the spirals. These guys that you can see behind us, this technology did not exist 106 years ago. Now, because we're in the 1920s. If the spirals, such as the Andromeda Nebula or island universes, it would seem reasonable to assign to them the same dimensions as our galaxy. I'm sure my colleague here, Harlow, he would agree with that, right? And so if their dimensions are as great as 300,000 light years, as Shapley here claims, well, that's a big ass number. The island universe must be placed at an enormous distance. That would need impossibly great absolute magnitudes to the novae, the exploding stars, the new stars that have appeared in these spirals. Should the Milky Way universe exist at a size of 30,000 light years, as I claim, because I went to school, then
at Clemson can hardly be considered a school.
Go Tigers. Then the spiral nebulae distances range from about 500,000 light years, like to Andromeda, to distances of the order of 100,000 light years, or I dare say more. First, my esteemed moderator,
Wait,
spectrum.
I was muted again. Jackie was dreaming, so I muted myself. What evidence have you obtained to prove this island universe theory?
First, my esteemed moderator, the spectrum of the spirals. We're professionals.
We're so professional.
At this point, I do want to point out that everything we are saying is lifted directly from the speech itself. I don't know how they had any captive audience for this.
Right.
Like, we've just lost 80% of our audiences. What if we have
Well,
five people?
No, everybody
kept them
sticks
because they
around
want to
for
see
a
how
train
we-
wreck, so
Yeah.
we're doing all right. Keep going.
We're doing all right.
Keep going. Mr. Curtis, continue.
The spectrum of the average spiral is indistinguishable from that given by a star cluster. Your star cluster.
Quite so.
It is approximately FG in type, and in general character resembles closely the integrated spectrum of our Milky Way. Okay, all right. It is just such a spectrum as would be expected from a vast group of stars. Can't even pronounce that. The spectrum of the spiral offers no difficulties on the island universe theory. Next, a phenomenon, a thing that happens out in the universe. If the spirals are galactic objects, if they are in the galaxy itself, they must be a class apart from all other known types. Why none of these? Like this unique class of objects, why are they not in our neighborhood? Why are they not close to us? Also, the spirals observed to date, 1920, have the enormous average speed of a velocity of 1,200 kilometers per second. And for all you American people who went to ASU, that is about 800 miles per second. Just saying. If the velocity factor, in this velocity factor, they stand apart from all galactic objects.
This is the greatest mansplain I have ever heard. Please continue.
It is the 1920s, all sport.
Oh, no.
It's mansplaining all the way down.
Finally, new stars in the spirals. Within the past few years, everybody, some 27, 2 and a 7. That is 10 plus 10 plus 7 for you guys who went to ASU. New stars have appeared in spirals in these galaxies in the last 3 centuries. So far as can be judged from such faint objects, the novae in these spirals have a life history similar to that of the galactic novae, the ones that we see in our own Milky Way, suddenly flashing out and more slowly, but still relatively rapidly sinking again to a luminosity 10,000-fold less intense. They get dim. That's all. They get dim. Such novae form a strong argument for the island universe theory and furnish, in addition to anybody who's listening, a method of determining the approximate distances to spirals. Edwin, I'm looking at you.
So this sounds like hogwash.
Well, okay, Mr. Shapley, a rebuttal?
The spiral nebulae are indeed distant objects. No arguments, they are distant. Not members of our galactic system. I prefer to believe that they are not composed of stars at all, but are truly nebulous objects, such as the belief of my opponent, nebulous objects. No type of star is known with anything like as large as negative color index as is shown by nebulosity in the spirals. But even if the spirals are stellar, they are not comparable in size with our Milky Way galaxy. And our system is not comparable in constitution with the spiral nebulae, which are vapid objects. We, Milky Way, we are solid, made of stars. Those spirals are nebulous at best.
Well, old sport, how do you explain the new stars that we see in those little spiral things that out there?
So I do strongly believe and subscribe to the thoughts of reasoning that those new stars are in fact tiny little fireflies that get stuck up there in the big bluish black thing.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that, Mr. Shapley. Now, what? If there's any questions, what is your favorite color?
Blue.
Purple.
If there's any questions from the audience, you may ask them now via the chat feature on your radio screens.
Although we will not submit to the question, what made you do this and could you do it better? We will not subscribe to that.
There's much practice that could have happened that did not, but that's how we are at Cosmos with Cosmos.
But I think that makes this debate even so much better.
What do you think the science you need in the future? What experiments or what data do you need to support in the future to support either of your views?
I believe that we will both agree that more observations are needed in greater detail, perhaps with a telescope significantly larger than we currently have access to. I am thinking 100 inches.
The hookers? Are you thinking the hooker telescope?
I do believe that 100 inches in a telescope yet to be created is the correct telescope indeed.
All right. Well, I think we should name it the hooker telescope.
I don't know if hooker is an appropriate name for a telescope.
Oh, it's appropriate.
Okay.
It's appropriate.
So we need better.
Considering that is its name,
we need better technology, is what you're saying. Is that we will not resolve this debate until we have better technology?
We should not resolve this debate until our resolution increases.
But I will make a prediction. In 9 years, we will have resolution.
That's quite.
I do have a question from the audience. There seems to be a possible time traveler in the audience, but we will allow it as a question. This is from Elizabeth. If the James Webb could see this today.
Who the fuck is James Webb?
This is the future. This is the time traveler question. If James Webb could see this today, would it prove either of your theories?
I don't know who James Webb is.
If you could imagine going forward in time.
Who's James Webb?
Should Orville and Wilbur Wright's inventions of the flying machine prove to have use cases beyond perhaps observation of warfare, and they move fast enough, there is this new theory called relativity. And according to this theory of relativity,
one of you looks like
have this conversation.
One of you looks very familiar with relativity. I must say, one of you is kind of mirroring a little bit.
So should those flying devices come useful and travel at such a speed, according to this new theory of relativity, should they move fast enough, they can in fact travel through time at a greater speed than we currently are. So that could go to suspect if they traveled in reverse, they can in fact go back in time as well. So we can think about this James Webb character as a time traveler just fine, given our current technologies. So if we had this space telescope, if I am understanding correctly, out there in the cosmos, then indeed it would have.
Who's in the telescope, though?
No one said it was in space, but that would be a
revolutionary.
This is
a good question. You must have a child in there.
It's a kid.
A child, yes, because they need to be small to get to space. Okay. So, and child labor must not exist
yet. So what you're saying is that we need to send a child inside of a telescope to space.
Yes, and given their tiny hands, they can adjust the telescope accordingly to tell us how far away these galaxies are. Indeed.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Yes, I'm sure there's plenty of orphans. Maybe after 1929 there'll be more of them.
God.
So what was the question actually? Because
would this future telescope prove either of your theories?
Yes.
It would prove my theory
because no, it would not, because the galaxy is obviously much larger than you can tend. So it would prove me correct.
No, it would prove me. It would prove me because it would see all the little stars popping off.
We have another question by this time traveler Elizabeth.
The question, can you stop?
IR infrared.
What is infrared? Oh, I know what infrared
is. We know what infrared is at this point in time in the 1920s.
We are men. I apologize. Men of science.
Cheers.
Yes, men of science and men in tights. This infrared could see this. If IR could see this, would it prove your theory?
No.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
This is a foolish question.
It has nothing to do with infrared. Okay.
But this is from an Elizabeth. And
yes.
So
I take offense, sir.
It sounds like you went to an ASU school.
I may have. Devil horns, which we all know is something else.
You got to put the space between the fingers.
That doesn't It's
It doesn't get better when I say it that way.
It does not. If there's any more questions from the audience, you can put them in chat.
I think the audience is scared to ask any more questions.
This is not come to plan.
Now, currently at the time, is there any other known astronomers or scientists such as yourselves that are studying these types of things as part of our place in the universe?
The current individuals who have tried to postulate theories such as this Einstein character.
That young upstart. He's a young upstart.
Yes, the young Swiss. But
Swiss? German. He's German.
But you'll have to excuse me because he worked at a Swiss patent office.
He did work there.
I do not know their individual ancestries, if you will, sir. But frankly, he is not a trained scientist. He has applied for positions at various universities and has been rejected. Yeah. We cannot trust his beliefs at the moment.
No. Upstart, no. He has crazy theories. Relativity, that'll be disproven within 2 years.
What about this Hubble character I've heard about?
Oh, Ed, yeah, we go drinking a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he is a great smoker, a great partier, a great drinker.
What's his drink of choice?
It's giblet.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, I love a giblet. I have my Clover Club, but I love a giblet because I love a gin. Because that's what Flapper's like. I don't know.
I don't know if this is the worst episode or best episode.
I think it's the best
episode we've ever done. Now, gentlemen.
And I cannot wait to hear the audience that is Mallory tell us what she...
Oh, God.
Gentlemen. One final question from myself, the moderator, who I did not give myself a name, but I am me. I am the moderator. One final question.
It's got to be something like Eunice or...
Oh yeah,
or Gertrude,
Daphne.
Daphne.
God,
yeah.
No.
So what else? No. Yeah, okay, Daphne.
Wow.
We'll do Daphne.
All right. What I would like to call for final statements. Final statements on your positions, or just final statements that you wish in general to share during this end of debate.
No, you can go first.
No. I insist.
You won.
I did indeed win.
You did win the coin toss. Uh-huh. So, but all right, if you'd like for me to go, okay.
I mean, you should have been prepared to buckle up, but you know.
All right, Harlow, this guy right here, he went to ASU. He's wrong. Final statement right there.
That was your final statement?
Harlow,
I'm right.
Harlow Shapley held and will continue to hold positions in the Harvard astronomy directorship. In fact,
he went to ASU.
There is a name that you recognize.
Yourself in first person, third person?
There is a name. I am a character at the moment. There is a name you will know. George Pickering. Pickering. As you're well familiar with, a famed Harvard alumni. No,
I do love pickles.
Pickering held the position within Harvard that has revolutionized the counts of stars with their famed calculators. He has since retired. May he rest in peace, for in fact he died. And it is now my lot to accept his role at Harvard to advance the knowledge of the universe. So to say that I went to some grand universities such as an ASU that only create the most enlightened minds, I in fact at the humble school of Harvard. And I believe that my thoughts that this earth is no longer in the center of existence, which is a dogmatic approach we have been fighting now for at least 2,500 years since the skewed views of Aristotle tried to destroy
He was the man,
science.
though. Aristotle, he was the man.
Yes, quite. But as he is trying to ruin science for 2,500 years, it is now our position to accept the earth is not the center of existence, that we are not God's creation in the center of everything, that we are in fact another speck in the motes of dust in the atmosphere.
Hey, Daphne, there's one thing. Well, you said your name was Daphne.
I never said my name was Daphne.
It is the 1920s, and you can barely vote, so let us tell you how to think.
You can call me the Black Dahlia.
All right. Flapper Daphne. There's one thing that we do agree on. Believe it or not. Well, okay, hold on.
Oh.
There's two things
Two
that we
things.
actually agree on.
Yes,
One
please.
thing is actually that we think that when we look at measurements of the universe, dust doesn't play a role at all. Dust doesn't obscure our view of the universe, and we can just ignore it. But the other thing is,
Not in your
this is a great
household,
thing.
sir. Not in your households.
Cheers.
Cheers. Dear Lord, it might be over.
Cheers. And that was the great debate.
The great train wreck of 2026.
But you know what is really
We're back.
interesting?
Now
We're in
goes to you.
color. We're back in normal time, and I'm
Oh,
done.
is yours black and white?
I kind of really. We were in black and white the entire time. We were in black and white.
That is so cool. I didn't
Yeah,
know this.
good thing the camera's on me the whole time.
I was really enjoying the I don't know what fucking voice I was doing, but I was really enjoying it. But anyway,
hold on. We're still live, right?
Yeah.
we're live. We're back in normal Cosmos and
Okay.
Cosmos time period. We're in color. We're no longer in the 1920s. We're in our normal.
All right.
in our normal...
Can I say that both Shapley and Curtis, I actually really did enjoy this whole thing. You might like just think this was a train wreck,
I think this
but
was really
I
fun.
loved it.
I think
I
this was
loved it.
really fun. I think that, yeah, was it a little bit of a cluster? Yes, but that's the Cosmos way. It wouldn't be.
And to be fair, all those clusters exist within the Milky Way galaxy.
That is. I see we did it. Well done. Well done. No, they're outside. All right, but anyway, what is great about Shapley and Curtis is that they were both correct and wrong at the same time. And so Shapley was
unlike Ptolemy and Aristotle, which was both just wrong.
Yeah, so Shapley was correct in that he did place the Milky Way, the sun, and by extension the Earth, well outside the center of the Milky Way, which the Earth kind of being at the center of the universe was a very dogmatic type argument from Curtis, who actually was a very conservative when it comes to science, point of view. But he clearly Shapley was wrong with the size of the Milky Way galaxy. It's nowhere near 300,000 light years. It's 100,000 light years. Curtis was also very wrong on the size of the Milky Way. It wasn't 30,000 light years or 60,000 light years, but yeah.
Yeah, and
wait, say the size of the Milky Way, since
it's 100,000 light years in diameter.
So not 300,000, not 300,000, but
no,
But also, Curtis was right in that the universe was much larger than the Milky Way.
And also, I did obviously edit and cut things to perform a quote-unquote narrative that was supposed to be there. But in reality...
I think it was there.
There was a narrative there.
But in reality, Curtis, in the debate, was very adamant that he might be right. We just need more data. We need more observations. We need to know. But based off the evidence as it is right now, this is what we think, but we need to know more. So yeah, had we had a tiny child with small hands and a James Webb give us data in 1920, then yes, he would have been absolutely. I do agree that the galaxy is large and there are more universes out there.
I do have to say this though. I mentioned it at the end. I just brought it up. There was a moment in the debate where they actually do agree, and it does have to do with dust. And so when we do look out into the universe, and so from Curtis's point of view, if we map out all the stars, it does look very centered on the universe, but I mean centered on the Earth. And he is what?
Scoot to me. Scoot towards me.
Camera.
Oh.
Brandon keeps moving around and the camera. Why
I'm
do you have an auto tracking camera on?
I thought I turned it off, and I somehow just made it worse. So we did 30 minutes before this began, sat, did things, and somehow the camera didn't do this.
Right.
As soon as we
did.
started, it zoomed in, which as like you started talking, I was like, "Oh, that's a fun effect," but then it just
It
stayed.
just got worse.
But hey, you said you speak to the dead. This is the dead actually messing with our show. But so when we look at when we map out the stars, and Herschel was really he did this. You map out the stars, it does look like the Earth, the sun is at the center of everything.
Why is that?
Maybe
But
slightly
there's
off.
a reason for that.
Yeah, and so what you have to do is you kind of have to factor in dust in this. There's a lot of dust between us and the center of the Milky Way, and so it kind of impacts the measurements of how far stars are. But both Curtis and Shapley minimize the effect that dust has. But they did agree. So they agreed on that point. It was the one point they agreed on, but it was also very wrong for both of them. But for the time in the 1920s, it's a big question. I think.
Yeah.
And being in astronomy or sciences in the early 20th century had to be just a phenomenal time, right? Like you had thought everything was proving correct. You had thought the world, the universe was known, and then suddenly it breaks into 1,000 different pieces, and you need to figure out how to put it back together.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I were a research physicist and I was doing actual research, the 1920s is a time that I would want to be in.
Not the 1880s?
No.
Was Faraday in there?
No, with Maxwell and all that kind of stuff in the 1850s and 80s and stuff. They really did at the end of the 1800s. They were thinking that it was the end of physics.
Give us the famous quote.
Now I cannot, because I didn't have lunch and this is starting to kick in. It was basically that we are at the end of physics, and that physics is what? Really?
I don't know what the little clap that people do now.
Yeah,
the little
that's
clap. I was giving you a little clap, but I didn't know how to do it, so I was like,
"You're a clapper, not a clapper."
Oh yeah. But so in the late 1880s, 1800s, they were like, physics is over. Now we are just going to make classifications of objects like biologists.
Like biology.
Yeah, like biology. And I mean, what a dig at biology, for one thing, throwing shade at that. But then the 1920s happened. Really, it was 1905. But the 1920s, you had not only special relativity, which a lot of people did not want to believe in, but you had...
We should cast it to the fourth dimension from whence it came.
Yes. Right. So that is like a great quote.
Oh yeah, it's fabulous.
On just how people did not like relativity. But then Einstein came out with general relativity, but then you had quantum mechanics, which was just so mind-bending, and it still is for a lot of people.
I can't think about it too.
Yeah,
too long, my brain melts.
And so what a time to be there. You have relativity that comes out.
But then like, oh God, this is why I love time travel or want time travel, because like to bring then go back in time to take then like the James Webb data and images to then Shapley and Curtis and Hubble even Hubble images to be like, hey, dude, you got a telescope named after you now. And like show them this data. And I mean, the farthest galaxies we're seeing now are with James Webb, which is just in the past couple of years since James Webb has been launched.
Yeah, I mean, I in the same tone, I brought up Aristotle because he did screw science up for a very long time.
He did.
But had Aristotle
Well, it's not his fault. He was trying.
No, he did his
No, it's
best,
not his fault.
But had he
He
known
gave it a go.
the data that James Webb gave us, like the suppositions that he could make, again, it could still set us back 2,000 years, or it would be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, in defense of Aristotle, Newton had not occurred. I mean, obviously Newton is, 2,500 years
A lot
later.
of things have not occurred since Aristotle.
Right? But
Plumbing, it's going to be big.
Bacteria.
so the mathematics was not there, and just the general paradigm shift.
I mean, he did the
thinking.
best what he could with what he had, which was his eyeballs.
He did do the best that he could, and I am famously in this podcast not the biggest Aristotle fan, because he did set back, physics.
That's not his fault, though.
It's not his fault.
You can't blame.
It is.
It's medieval literaturist trying to recall the knowledge of the ancient world,
Which
and
a lot was lost.
because they were the people that could write, and they thought this guy knows what he's talking about because his views subscribe to what we think as a church, so we're gonna go with that.
Right, yeah.
So you know what? It's not Aristotle's fault. It is in fact
The church's fault.
religion's fault.
It is religion,
Well,
but it's also
That's the fault of everything.
But it is, interestingly enough, it's also the physicists' fault that followed because they were very dogmatic. It
is Western Europeans, astronomers, scientists' fault. The Middle East was kicking ass.
Yeah. It basically, you need people you need the punks. You actually need the Shapleys to, question things.
Don't do your whatever arm is going away from Mike.
Right.
Don't do that arm. Do the arm closer to Mike.
Because at the end of the day,
Do your other arm closer to your whole body.
God damn it. Oh, we're okay.
Why is it so?
Oh,
Why is it so on you?
I don't know.
He's a witch.
Talk to people
He's a
this.
warlock
This is not
or a
ready
wizard.
for prime time.
No, but the thing is, it's like for science is a very, very conservative field, and that is by design, and that is a good thing.
Yeah.
But what you need is
Only time conservatism is good.
Was it Sigma 13? How many zeros do you need?
This is the one time that it's like a lot of sigmas. And so when we say sigmas, what that means is that in statistics there's a thing called a sigma, and it tells you actually how accurate some data is. And so that is why it took so long for the Higgs boson from CERN to be released to the public, because it had to meet this sigma threshold, and that means it's like 99.99%.
So if you are 97% sure this thing is real,
it is not.
Get fucked.
It is from a science point of view. There is still the 3%. It's like an eclipse. It is just like an eclipse.
There's always that though.
There's a huge difference between 97% totality and 100%.
Yeah. Is there anything? I mean, there's nothing that is necessarily like 100%.
No. In science, there will never be 100%,
except for gravity.
Yeah, you always.
Although, if you think of string theory, that at some point somebody in the next trillion years is going to fall through the planet and the universe.
That is
okay.
True.
So then, if string theory if there's an experiment that in the future we have the technology that can be designed that then can prove string theory correct, because right now it's a philosophy. If string theory is proven correct, then you said something in the beginning, Brandon, oh fuck, what was it? And I thought of string theory.
Shapley said it.
Well, first of all, somewhere Brian Green's ears tingling.
Someone said it, where it's like, oh, they're both wrong, and they don't, so, and all these physicists are just going, they're basically saying like, oh yeah, it's over and done with, biologists. But if string theory is correct, then that is the same thing then, where physicists think they know it, but then it just changes everything.
I think I speak with Mike as well, is I desperately wish a new theory, like string theory, is correct, because it would shatter everything we know, and that would lead to what kind of physics would that lead to?
New physics.
New physics.
Everybody see that, and that's what's great about, I think, science, is that scientists who are like really scientists, who aren't those that are basically using science to cherry pick for their own ideologies, which we all know what I'm kind of referencing there. Well, they know what I'm referencing there, but anybody else can apply. But scientists who are there for science, they kind of like want, while absolutely. They want what they think to be true, at the same time they want things to be shattered completely, and things to be broken, and new things.
Punks. Scientists are punks. Break the system.
Yeah, they want things to be broken, because that means that there's just like, oh shit, there's so much more to study and learn and understand. And it opens up whole new avenues of thought and science and etc.
Preach. So preach, Daphne.
I think that like I think it was like really funny, interesting. I was cast as Curtis in this because Shapley is the punk.
You were cast by Brandon.
I was cast.
Can I say why?
Okay, go ahead.
Because Curtis ultimately wins the debate.
Okay.
Like, it was made apparent immediately Curtis won the debate.
So you just wanted to win, Brandon?
I wasn't.
No, I win.
He won.
I won.
Okay. I actually can't keep track of who's who.
Did you just put on lipstick?
I did, because it's the 1920s and I'm a lady.
Whoa! She's a lady.
Oh, I'm glad.
I have a feather on my fucking head.
Although the quote does come to mind, that I think applies to you. Ladies don't start fights; they finish them.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh fuck yeah!
So
I'll finish them.
So ultimately, Curtis, Mike, wins the debate, and I do feel that yes, he got the size of the Milky Way incorrect, but I think it's the bigger advantage to be correct about galaxies outside the Milky Way.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, but at the end of the day, we need the punks. We need the Harlows, the Shapleys. Even though they might not necessarily be correct in the larger question of things.
Yeah.
We need them, because what they do is that they force the conservative scientist, and we do want science to be conservative. Don't get me wrong.
That's the only thing we want to be conservative.
Yeah, is that
yes?
Because all right, okay,
but
hold on. No, go ahead.
So yes, we want science to be conservative, but it is, if I can wrap this all around, the progressives that lead conservatives towards the correct answer eventually.
Yes, and so there is a punk band called Circle Jerks. And they have a song. We have seen them live, and there is a song that really and truly is kind of the anthem to what it should be, and that is the song is called Question Authority. And so every scientist, whether you are a Harlow Shapley, a Heber Curtis, which is the most Utah name ever,
because of Heber, it's only Heber.
Yeah, or you are Albert Einstein, or to bring in a physicist that at my university, Clemson, Daw, Merriweather, these professors that nobody knows about that are very kind of conservative, they all question authority. they all are looking to break physics. Even from a conservative point of view, they are all progressive. They want to break physics, because when you break physics, in that breaking of that mirror, you find fundamental truths of the universe.
May I take us home?
Yes, take us, please. Because I need another drink.
And then hangover.
Yes. With the great debate, it's a reflection, ultimately, of society, in which you have the conservatives that hold staunchly what they know to be true, and the punks that push the envelope and are honestly wrong 95% of the time.
Yes, it's that 5%.
99% of the time.
It's that 1%.
99.99999% of the time. But it is that 0.13% that they are incorrect about, that they are pursuing to find the truth of.
Right. So be punk, everybody.
Be punk. Expand your horizons. You may be wrong many times, but at the end of the day.
But that one time gets you Nobel Prize.
Oh, what's the quote I'm going for? Oh, it's like the quote from Rick Moranis from the Little Giants.
Okay.
We may lose 99 games out of 100, but that one game where everything comes together, it makes you believe. So be like the Little Giants, be like Icebox, and be a punk.
Be a punk.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Be a punk.
Ladies and gentlemen, be safe. Be a punk. We will see you next time. Follow us and all the goddamn things.
See you in 2 weeks. Cheers.
Bye, everybody. If you're with us now, we'll be right back with the hangover.
like you. I don't even
Hangover
factor into
Skype.
this.
We're hangovering in Skype. We're hangovering. Welcome to the Hangover with Cosmos to
Hey,
Welcome.
hi.
I don't remember the accent I did for the entire show.
All right, and just for an update for everybody, because I know you're split between
You know
us
what? Look, I'm
and the
happy.
World Cup.
You're both in screen. You're blurry, but it's kind of
Nothing.
okay. You're both
I
in
turned
screen.
all the focus off. I turned everything off to try to.
The focus
be
is
normal.
definitely not there, but
It doesn't matter. Listen,
you're both in
listen.
there.
You listen to our voices. You don't need our faces. Welcome to podcast
Hey,
land.
Yeah,
Norway has the ball.
Spotify
They're
shows
kicking it.
videos now, though, so we do. have
Norway's
videos.
kicking it.
So everybody
They
who
picked it. Brazil's got it.
if anybody is just watching The Hangover and didn't see the main
Always
episode
got it.
of the Great Debate, then watch it for understanding why Brandon and Mike look the way they do.
I don't know that you need to watch it.
It
I
was
do not. I do
no,
not. Know if you need to.
it was great. I think it was fun. We had fun. It was, we had.
I'm all right. This is just my opinion. I'm sure other people can kick in and give their thought. I thoroughly loved it. It was a lot of fun. And if the Great Debate was actually this lighthearted, it probably would have been, loved by a lot of people.
You Clemson alumni always think that the
Also-
shit is good.
Also, by the way, disparaging ASU to insult
No.
Brandon's character also insults me, by the way.
No, I know.
Okay, I was really hoping he would go after Clemson.
I did a little bit.
You did. I had to remind you.
But I was like, hey, I'm also ASU here. You can't just disparage ASU.
I feel it's because somehow like ASU is somehow impacted your DNA fucking somehow. It just has.
No,
I forgot that
ASU's
comes in.
way easy
Right?
to make fun of, though.
Right?
It is.
No, it wasn't. It was not a personal thing. It was.
I know it wasn't, but then I felt the need as my character to be like, hey, even though who knows in the
That's
1920s how many women were going to college.
Right.
And also, when was
Every-
ASU founded? Was it even founded back
It
then?
apparently wasn't even founded then.
Yeah, so U of A was first in the 1800s. I
Oh.
do not know when ASU was founded. I want to
Let's
say
find
maybe
out.
the 1910s.
ASU
So-
Maybe I was wrong?
founding.
So I really was hoping that Brandon would go after Clemson.
Arizona State University
did.
was founded on March 12th, 1885. So it was founded.
Damn. Revoke my ASU credentials. Not that that matters too much.
I was hoping that
All right.
there would be Clemson digs and we got there.
So, we can't see the chat. We have no idea what's
Well,
going
I have
on.
no idea what's going on.
We don't know their tunes, their thoughts, if they're still with us at the moment. Thank you for the questions, Elizabeth.
I don't know. My mom in chat at one point said, "You don't know what you don't know." Eric said, "Mike, you need a Brandon face mask." Face mask. I think #AI. Elizabeth. The last comment in chat was Elizabeth, who said, "Sigma boy, Sigma boy."
So we have lost everyone.
No,
is
we
what
have
you're saying.
9 views right now, or 5 concurrent viewers.
I don't.
So people are still
I don't-
hanging
I
in
don't-
with us.
I don't know what we talk about at this point, but it is strange seeing me and Mike in that corner. It feels like we're like weird podcast bros, right? Like we're
Well-
talking to UFC, we're talking to weird right thing.
My mom's here.
theories.
My mom's here though. She's still here. She's still hanging out with us. So there's
For
that.
now. Well, yeah.
Weird.
he also
Don't compare
favored
yourselves
support.
to the likes of like a Rogan or anything. 'cause
Aristotle.
You're not. Look, Aristotle was doing his best. He didn't know.
Doing
All he
his
had was his eyeballs in the night
But
sky.
when I do my best, I get fired. So
Well, there's more
oh
technology now.
no,
I don't
Liz,
know.
you're supposed to be in my
You
corner
shouldn't
there.
be fired. What have you? You haven't been fired.
I've never actually been fired.
I've been fired, and it sucks because I wasn't
Oh.
fired for any particular
You know
actual
what?
reason
We-
for being fired.
I walked right into that one.
Yeah.
We
A
had
whole conversation.
a whole conversation last night about
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah.
We were up until after midnight drinking. Like we had originally planned to have old fashions because it made sense today.
Yeah.
We drank the whole fucking bottle.
Well, that makes sense, and you should, and I expect nothing less. In fact, I was up after midnight too because I went to the fireworks show in town, and I took pictures, and then I was obsessed with reviewing the pictures, which then my mom's watching, so I don't know if I want to say this. I'm sorry, Mom. she already knows, but I got a little high, and then I was reviewing the pictures, and actually the fireworks pictures turned out, I think pretty good.
Were those fireworks pictures lit?
Go.
I see what you did there.
Go. The camera will follow you. Go. No, but I'm actually pretty excited about processing these fireworks pictures that I took. So,
I will say that the pictures I've seen, I saw 4 from a phone and
you
one
saw
from
one from the camera.
From the camera.
I know.
They're just like, holy shit.
So I got some decent shots.
There was a moment where it's like, maybe I should have come in on Sunday.
Yeah.
Or Monday. No,
may I come back to the general topic?
Yes.
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 So the 1920s Great Debate was trying to further the edges of knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
If we remove dark energy, dark matter, what is a topic, a general subject of physics, of astronomy, of science that you think you want to be expanded upon? Assuming that
from the 1920s?
No, from today, from right now.
Wait,
So I think what we know right now, what is a subject that's not dark energy or dark matter related that you want to see expanded, that you want to see just have its door kicked in, and here is the rest of the world that we didn't know existed?
Oh, it's the marriage of gravity and quantum.
Okay, I should have said besides that, because that, of course, we want to see the grand unifying theory.
Yeah,
that's what we all want. I feel that's an obvious answer.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So take those obvious answers out. There's life. Is there biology on other worlds? And not just carbon-based life forms either. Methane-based.
Yeah, that I would think. Yeah, exoplanet science is
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If there's a Rocky out there, oh my god.
Yeah, astronomy or just physics?
I'd say in general.
In general.
I mean, you know, I think that, like, okay, so the I'm gonna say that I don't know who this person is in our chat, but hey, if somebody in chat says if quarks cut in half just produce a new quark, they doesn't Hawkins.
There's
all right. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Confederate MP. So quarks are in physics. Quarks are considered point particles. Just like an electron is considered a point particle, which means that you cannot cut them in half, and so you cannot cut a
point in half.
A point in half,
Yeah.
and in our current understanding of physics and quantum mechanics, you cannot cut an electron or a quark in half to create a new quark that doesn't have Hawking radiation. That way both entangled particles double, and the two can leave an event horizon.
Recently.
Okay. All right.
There's a lot to unpack here. Yeah.
A proton actually is not a point particle, though they did think that it was in the 1930s and in the 1920s and 30s.
More about 1920s thoughts. Listen to our main episode.
Yeah, but
or don't.
But a proton is actually.
Oh, he said photon. Sorry.
What's that?
He said, or they. I'm sorry. They said. I don't know. I'm assuming they said photon. Sorry, light particle.
Yeah, you can't.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Photon cut in half.
Yeah, this is. Oh, are you talking about entanglement? They might be talking about entanglement, which, interestingly enough, is
fancy physics man is getting excited.
No, if they're talking about entanglement. I'm not understanding the Hawking radiation, the black hole connection to this, but cutting a photon into creates an infinite swarm of particles.
Let me read for a second and continue.
Yeah, I would need to read that. But interestingly enough, when you was it you? It was Brandon who asked the question of like, what would I love to see? And in my head, it was, a better understanding of what entanglement, the physics of entanglement.
Ooh.
There is, entanglement is a very quantum mechanical thing. And
the question is, I am asking why Hawking radiation doesn't generate two new particles when they come into existence on the boundary of the event horizon. Oh my God! Look at the excitement! Look at the excitement there.
The way that Hawking radiation works, pet theory, think it proves no information is lost in a black. Lost goes to black hole. Oh my God! This is such.
Liz,
we'll
drink. We'll talk.
All right. So the whole idea with Hawking radiation is that in space you have virtual particles that get created, and they do not live long at all. It is less than like a Planck length in time, which is 10 to the minus 34. And so they come in, they basically borrow energy from the universe, from space itself, to come into existence. And it could be a proton or an antiproton or an electron and a positron, and they create and they come together. They go out. They're like, oh, freedom! We're heading out, but then they have to come back. They have to, because they have to. They cannot.
Yes, Elizabeth.
Basically, yeah. So they cannot completely exist. However, there is a point in space-time near a black hole where they are created. And so you have a positron and an electron that get created. But one of them falls into the black hole. These are virtual particles. They're not considered real in physics at this point, because they're basically borrowing energy. They're going to repay that energy back real quick. One falls into a black hole, and physics is like, uh-oh, we got a fucking problem here, because these were not real particles. But now we have one that escapes, and it becomes a real particle. It becomes the Pinocchio. It is a real boy at this point. And you have one that falls into the black hole. But to make the accounting work, because you, at the end of the day, for these two particles, you need a number 0. The mass has to be 0. So the particle that escapes, Pinocchio, becomes a positive mass, but +1, that is not 0. So the particle that falls into the black hole is -1 with mass.
How?
If you add them together, it is 0. And when it impacts the mass of the black hole, the singularity of the black hole, it reduces the mass of the black hole.
How are you a -1 mass?
Well,
Does that look like, if you think about space-time, for example, the fabric, is it a bump instead of a hole?
Is it a bump or what?
Is it a bump instead of a hole? Which I guess in 3 different dimensions, a bump is a hole.
Yeah. So I think that like you can think of the positive mass Pinocchio that goes out that we can see as a blip up, and the minus mass is.
But we say a blip up, but if you flip it around 180 degrees, that blip up is a hole down.
That's true, but
this is
right. No, I see what you're saying there, but
because I am limited in my capacity of thought processes. Maybe it's just that I don't have the right words or mechanisms to think about.
Right. So outside of the black hole, outside of the event horizon, though, you don't have negative mass. There is nowhere outside of an event horizon.
I've also this is honestly the first time I've thought about negative mass.
Yeah. So
it's breaking me in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. This is why Hawking radiation took to the 1970s to come up with. 1960s and 1970s are the golden age of black hole physics. And Hawking looked at it from an entirely thermodynamic and quantum point of view. And so he really asked a question of, so in the 1970s, we know about virtual particles.
Yeah.
This is something that we've known about since the 40s and the 50s. Feynman diagrams really explain all this. And
yeah, I was going to say, don't you have one of those?
I do love me a Feynman. So Hawking was the first to really him and Penrose were the first to ask the question of what happens when you have a particle, these virtual particles, they get created at.
Woo!
Oh, did they score?
Woo!
Woo!
Oh!
Nobody knows. Okay, if you listen to the main episode, then when they do that, it's to take a drink because they have soccer going up above them where you can't see.
Major upset in the works, folks. This is basically a bump in space time. This is what you expect a hole. It's an upset.
All right. So,
did you want to comment? Confederate MP says the event horizon is indeed a sphere of a sphere-like.
All right. Hold on. Okay. Hawking was the first. This is like when the U.S. scored that goal.
Different.
Hawking was the first to ask what happens when the virtual particle falls in. To the black hole, and the other one goes out because it has lost its companion. It's not going to come back, and they're not going to meet up.
That's sad.
Right?
So
it is very sad for virtual particles, and so he was the first to ask this question. Him and Penrose, and they came up with this thing called Hawking radiation, and. Hawking radiation, by the way, is not something that you could really measure for a normal black hole. Is not something you could measure because it's so dim.
But give like
the luminosity is really quite small. You need a black hole that is, I'm going to say, approaching the size of the Earth, the Moon, something very small, to where it has the luminosity that you could actually kind of maybe discover it.
Our buddy here says they think it generates a new companion, but don't know how the mass is involved mathematically. And can you just create something out of nothing?
Well, yeah. You can. The thing is like that's how virtual particles are created. You create. Okay. All right. Let me rephrase this. You're not creating something out of nothing.
Yes.
You are borrowing energy from the universe. And, of course, the bigger the object, somebody like me has to borrow a shit ton of energy from the universe just to make a virtual mic, anti-mic But not only are you borrowing energy from the universe, you can only have that energy for a certain amount of time. You cannot have it forever. You have to, so that you always have a mic and an anti-mic. You can only borrow it at the most 1 to the 10 to the minus 34 seconds. That is the length of time that mic exists. Mic and anti-mic, and within that time frame, they have to come back together, and they annihilate each other, and they return that energy back to the universe that they borrowed. And so it's a very quantum mechanical thing.
Okay, so Confederate MP says, I thought this because they recently sent photon light particles through a trapdoor shutter. The photon, they said, splits into 1 million photons or none. Because depending on which side you examine the results, they are different. Some see none, some see 1 million in late.
It sounds like it's a double split.
Yeah, and I will say I'm looking at the article now. I'm sure Mike and myself actually want to read the article itself.
I'm definitely
the actual paper.
My mom apparently sent this one. So,
is that Confederate? Is your mom Confederate?
No, no, my mom is not. No, but my mom said she thinks she sent this article to us.
So yeah, so at least the one paragraph I read, so there's a lot of supposition, if you will, going on here, is when they were able to cut this in half, it did not create half a particle, or it created an infinite swarm of the same particle.
So, what is the greatest experiment in physics history?
I'm going to go with the eclipse. Eddington's eclipse.
Oh, interesting.
I have no answer.
Or it's Newton's apple.
Newton's apple.
Newton's apple.
The whole the whole theory of gravity that was created from it.
Or Eddington's eclipse. I think, honestly, I'm going to go with those things.
Okay, no, those are Eddington's eclipse, a paradigm shift. It is proof of a paradigm shift in physics,
and which, as we talked about in the main episode, should be launched into the fourth dimension from whence it came.
Oh, I can't even. All right, so with the galaxies behind this. All right, for me, and this is coming from, and I'm going to be honest, this is coming from very quantum,
biased
way of looking at the world. The greatest experiment in the history of physics, from my point of view, is called the double slit.
The double slit experiment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't Brian Cox talk about this on some show he does?
I'm sure he does. It's a phenomenal experiment.
Yes, because there is no Newtonian explanation for the double split experiment. And so I think what Confederate is talking about is, and I have not read the article. I need to read the article to know what they're talking about. But I think what Confederate is talking about is that if you turn on a light bulb and the light goes out and it runs into a wall that has two slits in it, hence the name double slit. And then the light impacts onto a third wall, another wall off into the distance. And you look at the shadows and the bright areas. You find that there's a series of bright areas and dark areas, and bright areas and dark areas. Bright areas in the center, very bright. Then dark areas, then bright, and so on and so forth. And so it looks like, if you look at it from just the way that this is set up, that light is a wave, because you see that it is the constructive,
a wave, or is light a particle?
We're going to get into that. And because if you look at a wave, like a boat goes by, and then another boat goes by on a lake. They create wakes, they create waves, and these waves interact with each other. And you have what's called constructive and destructive interactions. And where it's constructive, the waves add to each other, so they're actually taller than normal. Destructive, they're smaller than normal.
And speaking of destructive, I just remembered it was Daisy, the character in Great Gatsby. What's her name? Daisy. I got there.
Well, not Daphne. Daisy.
Continue.
Oh, were you trying to call me Daisy instead of Daphne?
Yes, I tried. I failed.
Oh.
And now Mike's fancy physics punk is taking a drink, having a moment. Let's get back into it.
So when we look at the shadow, quote unquote, of the light on this wall, we see bright and dark areas. And so it appears that light is a wave. However, if you set up an experiment that actually measures, so basically you turn the light of your light bulb down to where it emits 1 photon per second, and that's all it does. I like it. And then you set it up so that you can measure which slit that photon goes through.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know exactly which one it goes through. And so you then actually get a quote unquote shadow on the wall that looks like, hey, this is a particle. So it looks like light is a particle. However, if you just leave the light bulb on, and you're constantly measuring where those photons, those particles hit the screen, it actually ends up looking like the wave result that you had. And so light.
What does that mean?
That means that a photon is not only a wave, it is a particle, and it is both at the same time. And what you see depends on how you set up your experiment.
At the risk of extending the hangover, does that mean that the photon exists in two different ways at the same time?
Yeah,
it can be not just
superposition,
two things,
which I think was mentioned.
But an infinite amount.
It could be an infinite amount. They Confederate said like millions, but yeah, and so it's their double slit experiment is one of the most famous experiments ever. But not only was it for photons, for light, which is what you think.
Ooh.
Oh God.
Woo.
Oh God.
Oh, woo. I don't have my glasses.
This is what we call an upset.
We only drink in the main show, so you don't have to drink to this.
Major upset.
To these rowers. Oh God, sports ball.
Oh shit! It's like 90 minutes, right? So
Brazil's losing.
Anyway.
Is there?
I'm just pulling for.
I don't know if this is the right thing to ask. Is there a solution to double slit experiment, or is it a solution that yes?
The solution is that light is both a wave and a particle at the same time.
Yeah.
However, there was a French physicist, de Broglie was his name, who said not only is it for light, it is for matter.
What?
And yes. And so every time we get in a car and we drive, we have a velocity associated with us, right? Can we all agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going 50 miles an hour.
Or whatever.
Relative to
the ground. Relative to the ground. That velocity actually turns us into, we have a wavelength associated with that velocity. And de Broglie was originally talking about electrons when he did this. And so you can set up an experiment where you pass an electron through those double slits. And guess what? You see the exact same phenomena as you do with light. And so electrons are quantum mechanical. They are both a wave and a particle. De Broglie won a Nobel Prize for this. But the extension of that is me, you, Brandon, Liz, Mallory over here in the audience. We're all quantum mechanical. And when we drive down the street, we become a wave. We become a wave. It's a very small wavelength. But nonetheless, if we were to, in a car, drive through a double slit experiment, we would make the same we would make the same pattern as a photon.
We are but things that photons are made of.
Yeah.
Physics for poets.
I have no more. It looks
like a full glass.
No, it's just debris on the glass.
Honestly, based off what Mike has just stood up on the podium and educated us on in a phenomenal way, I think Liz, us three would love an episode of Physics for Poets. Because what you have said makes sense, but we need to break it down.
Make it so that minds like mine can understand it, because I need a Physics for Poets because I can't math.
All right, I think it was like Feynman who said, and I'm
Go ahead.
greatly paraphrasing here. He said that that
Ooh.
if you understand quantum mechanics, you don't understand quantum mechanics. There's no
There's
What a
there's no
phenomenal
true
quote.
understanding of quantum.
yeah. So it's so hard for us to understand quantum mechanics because it's so contrary to our everyday existence. We live in a very Newtonian universe, and
Yeah, gravity rules us.
this is why
Gravity.
an apple this is why an apple falling on somebody's head makes sense. This is why you know this is why if you play pool,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
This is why we can land on the moon. That's why we have a
Yes.
helicopter on Mars.
Elizabeth said her dad took that class of physics for poets at the University of Scranton,
It is a real
and then
class,
it followed up with physics
real
for poets as a real
Mhm.
class. And yeah, Mike is actually pulling physics for poets because he knows it's a real class.
Yeah, physics. It was Brandon, but physics for poets. I think it started with Harvard, and no, it was Leon Letterman,
Ha!
which we being me and Liz, we have his autograph in a book.
We
because
do?
we're married. Yes, we do. The God particle.
Oh.
Yeah, it was autographed by him. He's Nobel laureate.
So you have it in a book, and I just happen to be around.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
take us home, Mike.
And
us
so physics for poets was a class of where they discuss physics and how physics works with no math. So this is a Liz class. There's no squiggly math whatsoever.
It's a tilde over the end on occasion.
What's that?
It's a tilde over the end on occasion.
Yeah.
That's
and,
Spanish.
and it really is truly a fundamental understanding of how the universe works, which is ironically what I went to college for. I started off in engineering. I was in mechanical engineering, and I was like, you know what I really like in this whole thing is the physics. No, go ahead.
I'm going to wrap us up. So you finish your
statement. And so I moved over to physics. And at the end of the day, to be honest, I didn't care about the math. What I wanted to know was how the universe fundamentally worked. And from a physics point of view, you do have to know that mathematical language to be able to do it and to really fundamentally understand the universe. But that is at a real fundamental understanding, but in an everyday world.
And now I'm going to humble you in the best way possible.
Okay.
Oh.
In the best way possible. The things that you know, the science, the math, the physics, the understanding of the universe that you know, would dumbfound Curtis and Shapley. Right? It would blow their minds. They would have so many questions. They would want to dig and prod and understand more. So at the moment, Mr. George, at the moment, you know more than the leading minds in the 1920s.
Okay, can I add to this?
I am
after you
done.
finish.
Yes. The understanding of the universe that you have compared to the people in the 1920s is the same that you have of the people of the year 2800. And I will say 800 years because there are so many advancements, but there's so many incremental advancements that you could say you understand. Versus the quantum, the physics that you have now, not comprehensible to Curtis and Shapley.
Yeah.
So you in yourself are quantum leap.
Right. But imagine you said 2800?
Yeah.
Imagine what they're gonna know. They're gonna understand the universe in a much more fundamental way.
Unless we kill them.
Oh, let's not. Let's not.
We will not. Liz, are you the most sober one at the moment?
It's probably, yeah, actually.
All right, then take us home.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, everyone, on this episode of Cosmos with Cosmos. I have no grandiose speech of the, universe to give you from this, other than since the 1920s and before, the advancement of the technology that we use to view the universe, to observe the universe, to study the universe, to use science has grown exponentially. And what we know now
is peanuts.
Is gonna, most likely peanuts in compared to what we could know in 50 to 100 to 500 to 1,000 years from now. One of my favorite quotes from a Planetarium show is that was narrated by Odo from Deep Space Nine. We are in the horse and buggy days of space exploration.
That was Odo?
Oh,
that was Odo. Yeah,
that was Renee.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that.
Renee Albert. I don't know his last name. Apologies. Brandon's out.
Brent.
And the camera
follows him. It follows him out.
We are in the horse and buggy days of space exploration. So there is so much more that we have to learn about the universe that we live in, life itself, our place in the universe, and I think that is all so important to us as a species on this one planet that orbits a star in the Milky Way galaxy that's a part of the local cluster, that's in the Virgo cluster, that's in a larger fucking clusters of galaxies out there.
And you know what?
Yes.
At the end of the day, the world
is a vampire.
It's a vampire. The world is a vampire, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this hangover. Follow us on all the things. Cosmos, at Drinking Cosmos on Twitter, Cosmos everywhere else. We'll see you next time in a couple weeks where we will have, I guess, High in the Sky for August or something else. I don't know. It depends on what the date is. We'll let you know. Follow us on all the things.
Oh, yeah. All right. Cheers.
Goodbye, everybody. And, good boy, good on you.
Bye, Brazil.
Great games, everyone.
And ready?
Oh, Jesus. And goodbye, everybody. All right, we're